So we get a lot of questions about consumer credit. So what do? We brought in the expert. Hey guys, I'm Nicholas Shrouder, one half of the Shrouder Brothers Berkshire Hathaway Results Realty, and that's right, in this one we're going to do a interview. I have Brian Fuller here, who is a credit expert, so we're going to go ahead and ask Brian some questions. He's going to give some answers. We're going to give you some information, and if you need to, you'll be able to reach out to Brian. So Brian, first of all, thank you.
No problem.
So first I'll actually let you kind of intro who you are and your company. So
yeah, perfect. So my name is Brian. I am the owner of Matsuoka Management, LLC. Started it because when I had my own credit journey, just so you guys a backstory, like I was maybe in the 400s 2 years ago and couldn't do anything, right? Couldn't buy a house, couldn't get a car, couldn't even get the apartment. And so that journey, that experience led me to create or learn the credit repair game. And from that, I formed a business because I found some other people that also needed their credit repaired, and that turned into a business, and it just kind of snowballed from there. So that's what we do. We go ahead and we repair credit, and we also give credit funding advice to people who want to maybe expand their current credit profile, and also business credit as well. So.
Awesome. Well, as I said, we get a lot of questions on credit. People are always asking, either what can I do to improve it? How do I get collections off of my record? Should I call the collections company? Should I write them? So that's the kind of questions we're going to ask you.
Yep.
So let's jump into it, and I will just be a host here pretty much, and I'll let you take the reins. But The first question, pretty basic one.
Yep.
Basic question is, how do I raise my score?
Perfect. So I like to say there's really 5 main components in raising your credit score. The first one, payment history, right? 35% of your score is based strictly off of payment history.
Okay.
So missing a payment is detrimental to your score. Even if you miss one payment, it's still going to hurt. You want to have 99% or 100% payment history.
Okay.
Right? That's also one of the hardest things to repair or fix is a late payment. Right? Because now you want the bank to go ahead and fix it, but they're not going to do that. So it gets a little. You got to send in some goodwill letter and some things like that. It is very difficult. It is possible to do, but it's difficult. So it's very important. Never pay late. You know, if you're going to keep a balance, just pay a little bit over that minimum balance so you don't accrue all that interest. But late payments are detrimental. So
now, partial payment still counts as a late payment, right?
If it's more than the minimum balance, you're good. Yeah, so as long as you pay more than minimum balance, you're good. So each statement balance will show you at the end of each statement cycle. So let's say today's your statement date. Tomorrow they'll show you what your minimum payment can be. As long as you pay that balance, you can pay it the day of. Now you have no due date.
Okay.
Right. So tomorrow's you have $25 that's gonna be due on your due date, which will be, let's say today's what, 6th.
Yep.
So it'll be on. Let's say usually it's 3 days before. So it'll be the 3rd. So you have to pay $25 by the 3rd. If you pay it the next day after your statement date, now you have no due date because you've already paid the 25. So you kind of can delete your due date.
That's clever and very helpful. Okay, I didn't know that.
And then the second thing is your utilization. Right, I get a lot of clients that will come to me and they'll have like 99% utilization, and they think because they have the space on the card that they're entitled to use it. And you are entitled to use it, but you still got to make sure that you're using it responsibly. So that anything under 30 is what the credit reporting agencies like to see. Mm-hmm. I call them credit reporting agencies because they're not bureaus. There's a big discrepancy. There's only one bureau. Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. There's only one bureau. But you want to be for elite credit, you want to be under 9% utilization by statement date. Right? Okay. Outside of statement date, max it out all you want to. That's how you increase your limits.
Just pay off your balances.
Just pay off your balance. So when I first got started, I had a $500 secured card, right? And so after that secured card, I wanted to show the bank that I could carry a higher balance. So what did I do? I pushed $2,000 a month through my $500 secured card. So I'd max it out, pay it off, max it out, pay it off, max it out, pay it off. By the statement date, I'm under my 9%. I did that for about 90 days. They gave me a $5,000 credit limit increase. Right?
Oh, wow, okay.
And so that's how, if you want to get your score, you want to get your limits up, you just got to show them that you can use the card, and they'll typically match or triple whatever that balance was before. or they'll see whatever you were using it and they'll double that. So as I was pushing $2,000 through, they gave me 5 because they doubled what I was pushing through it. Essentially, they give me a little bit more than double.
Okay.
And so that's one way to really get your limits increased, especially if you don't necessarily have excellent credit. They'll still give you the limit increase if you show you can use it, because each transaction is money for them.
Play the game.
Play the game. That's all you gotta do.
All right.
And so the third thing is we want to make sure we're not out here applying left and right, getting all these inquiries. Inquiries impact your credit for 2 years, right? And
What if I'm on spring break and I apply for the new credit card, I get that cool T-shirt?
hey, just to get that T-shirt, it's gonna cost you 2 years of good points on your credit score. So T-shirt's not that cool anymore, right? So yeah, and we also make sure no derogatories. Okay, so derogatories, my company specializes in. I'm a little bit different. Most credit repair people, they're just gonna send letters into the credit reporting agency. I don't do that. My company doesn't do that. We go to the source, because the credit reporting agencies are actually the middleman.
Okay.
Right? Because somebody's actually reporting the information to the repair reporting agencies. So we just go straight to the source. 9 times out of 10, if it's a collection company, they're violating at least 5 to 7 federal laws.
Okay.
Just from communicating with you as a consumer.
I've heard this before.
Yeah, so once you understand these laws, now you can start to say, hey, you want to collect the $57 or do you want to pay the $7,000 by violating my rights? You pick and choose. And so typically they'll leave you alone after you send that letter in, and they'll offer to settle if you do it the right way. So you actually can make money from your derogatories.
All right, I don't know about you, but a light bulb just went off. That was pretty awesome.
Yeah, you can make money off your derogatories. So.
All right, so there was 4 ways to help you raise your score.
Yep, you can raise the score.
And make money.
And make money.
That's awesome.
And make money.
Okay, well, cool. Well, the next question, like I said, if you are disputing, which kind of goes along with, it's a good segue, if you are disputing as an individual, not through a service, is it better to call? Is it better to write? Is it a combination? You just bug them until they, how's it work?
So here's the cool thing. For disputes, the first thing I always advise my clients to do is to call to get all old addresses and misspelled names removed. And what that'll do is, because of how the credit reporting agencies are set up, they're using a system called eOscar, right? And all that's doing is checking every 30 days to make sure everything matches down the board.
Okay.
So if you have an old account that's tied to a misspelled name of yours, it's going to drop. So you can dispute stuff just by removing old addresses and misspelled names. And nobody really knows about that, right? Now here's my intro to the game. When I made the rookie mistake, I didn't know, so I'm telling you guys for free. It cost me $2,000, but I'm gonna tell y'all for free. Okay. Pro tip. Yeah, pro tip. I had a company. I'm not gonna name them, but I had a company. They said they did a pay for delete method. Pay for delete. Anything they get removed from my profile, I pay them $150 for. I said, okay, cool. It's result based.
Okay.
I didn't know they included addresses and misspelled names in that. So because I moved around a lot in my 20s, I had all these addresses on there. Each address they removed was $150. $2,000 right off the bat. And they removed not one account.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So that was I said, well, okay. I said, wait a minute. If they can charge this for just addresses, this is the kind of business I need to be in. Because I got burned $2,000 for just addresses. So now I tell everybody, that's the first thing I tell everybody. Remove your addresses and remove your old names, because accounts will fall off if they're tied to those addresses or those names.
Okay. And they just do that. You just call the credit.
You just call them up. That's it. That's one way, right? That's the only thing I say call for, though. Here's why. Let's say you have a factual reason why you're disputing something, and you call in.
Okay.
If they don't remove it, you can't go to a judge, you can't go to anybody and say, hey, I called on this date and they said they're going to remove it and they didn't remove it. That's not, according to federal law, that's not a form of communication they respect.
Right.
So you need to have it in writing. That's why I say always send in letters and always keep those copies of those letters nearby. So if you do have to go and say, hey, this, because sometimes they will be strict about some accounts they don't want to remove, because each account makes them money.
Right.
So if you can show them a real reason and you can put it on paper, send it in, it'll get rid of it.
Keep your records.
Keep your records.
Okay.
Yeah. You waive your right to any legal process if you call in.
All right, another one. All right,
Yeah.
cool. Man. All right. That's pretty awesome. And I guess to kind of leads in off of that, removal of collection companies
Yeah.
is kind of something that we hear about a lot as well.
So derogatories, right? That's that third major piece we were talking about earlier. Probably right now, because of the way the economy is shifting, it's probably more so now 25% of your score. Used to be roughly 20 to 15. But on the back end side, if you're looking at, and we'll get into the cards, remind me to get into the tiers of cards too after this.
Okay.
But these derogatories, they are actually violating your federal rights by just existing. So I'm going to give you a few here. You can research them after. But 15 USC 1681B, right? Permissible purpose. So if you don't give the company they bought the information from permission to share it, they're violating your rights.
Okay.
You have to give them permission. It's like we as consumers actually hold all the power in this whole process.
We just don't know it.
We just don't know it, right? And that's one thing. Now, another way you can dispute them is once you send them, you attach that, and then you also attach 15 USC 1681A-4, which is the violation of consumers' right to privacy.
Hope you realize there's going to be a lot of questions in the comments.
Yeah.
So you're going to definitely have to monitor this, which is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
And we will give you Brian's information here in just a few minutes, so stay tuned.
Yep.
But go on, I'm sorry.
No problem. And that one shows that they are violating your federal rights, right? Consumers' right to privacy. And no state attorney, if you get the state attorney involved, which I sometimes advise to people to do just to get the account moved quicker, no state attorney wants a company within their state to be filing federal rights. So you get the accounts moved quicker. We can talk about that off camera. But third thing you want to do is 15 USC 1692G, validation of debts. They have 5 days once they receive your letter to provide you with all the documentation they have on this account, or they have to remove it within 5 days. If they don't, it's a violation of federal law. So now each law is subject to a $1,000 fine. So you start to stack them on top of each other. Now you're up to $3,000 already in violations, right? Each one, according to 15 USC 1681N, willful noncompliance displays the fine in clear text of how much you can charge per violation. So if somebody has a $200 collection they don't want to pay, okay, and then you get a collection company knocking on your door, or they're calling you, which is a violation. They can't call you; it's illegal, right? And without your permission, they can't call you. So if they call you, $1,000 violation. What we do is we'll send them a letter displaying where they're violating your federal rights, and we'll send them an invoice saying you owe me $3,000. What they're going to do is they're going to remove the account and they're going to leave you alone. And if they resell it to someone, they just did what? Shared your information again. So now they're violating the law again, because they can't share information without your permission. You never gave them to it. So you can literally make money off of your derogatories.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm just quite baffled right here. Like I said, we get a lot of questions about credit, and these were definitely not the answers I was expecting to receive.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome. You mentioned tiers.
Perfect. So this is something I get into a little bit on the mentorship side, but there are different tiers of financial institutions, right? Chase, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, Citi, they're all tier ones, right? So those cards, and like I said, we'll get into this a little bit later in more detail, but each card carries a different weight to it. So all tier ones, let's say you have 9% utilization reporting, that effectiveness is weighed more than if you use a tier 4 or a tier 3 card, right? Tier 4s are your credit ones, the Synchrony banks, stuff like that. Your tier 3s are all credit unions, no matter if it's Navy Federal, Pentagon, FCU, whatever, Andrews. And then your tier 2 is like Discover.
Okay.
Like Discover Credit. But that's why the tiers are important. So you want to have more tier 1s on your profile, and the more tier 1s you have, the higher your score is going to be off automatically. So if you have all tier 4s and you're like, I can't get my score up, it's because you're using, and they're viewing you as a consumer who only can be targeted by a subprime.
So a tier 1 is technically supposed to be harder to qualify for?
Yes. Yeah.
Technically?
Supposed to be, yeah.
Okay.
And once you acquire that credit card, now they're like, okay, this person knows how to handle themselves. You're viewed differently.
Okay.
It's essentially judging.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like having experience before, like going to a job interview, and it's a new job, but they want someone with experience, kind of thing.
Right.
So, yeah, I get it. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
They want someone else to prove you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah. So obviously a ton of information right there. I don't expect anyone, including myself, to have picked up on all of that.
Yeah.
I encourage you to watch this video back repeatedly. I do encourage you to leave comments. Obviously, you can reach out to us on our website, liveflowlife.com. You can send us messages, text messages, phone calls, whatever, or you can go straight to the source. And you said there's a couple ways to get in touch with you. One, you said the easiest way is Instagram.
Instagram, definitely.
Because there's testimonials on there. I did check it out. Lots of testimonials. How would they do that?
Yeah, so my Instagram handle is CreditUnionCaptain. So C is CreditUnionCaptain.
And we'll put it on the screen somewhere around
we'll
this
drop
area.
it somewhere. And then my website and everything else will be in the description as well. But definitely reach out, fill out that free consultation, and we'll just talk. We'll go over your profile, stuff like that.
All right. Hopefully that was helpful. We don't do a lot of these type of interview videos. Maybe we need to do some more because it was extremely informative. If you follow the page, we do the videos each and every Monday to try and help the buyer, the seller, the consumer, or just those who are interested in living the Florida lifestyle today. If you have good credit, it makes living the Florida lifestyle a little bit easier to see, so it all ties together. Again, you can check out our website, liveflowlife.com. Please click the like, the subscribe, and again, comment with questions, concerns, or if you need any more information from Brian, and we will make sure that that information is also in the description of the YouTube video. So if you have any questions, definitely please reach out, Brian. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man, no problem.
Right.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.